Hello. For several years, I've been living as a family head with a man who is also the father of one of my children, and I have two older children from a previous marriage. For some time now, the man next to me has started to constantly insist that he is the only one who earns money. I am on maternity leave, and he does not let me start working and send the child to daycare, who is 1.6 years old. He constantly talks about how fat I am, and I am 65 kilograms, and I do not consider myself fat. He insults my older children every day. He keeps reminding them that he feeds them and that if it weren't for him, we would not have anything to eat. Every day, he curses me and says bad things about my parents, and they are both deceased. This evening, I could not stand it and threw his clothes from the wardrobe on the ground after I asked him several times before to stop insulting me, but he did not stop, and in his anger, I may have done something wrong. He got up and started tearing my clothes and screaming at me how he was going to take my child because he had a lot of money and I was trash and nothing. I don't know what to do now. All this happened in front of our child's eyes. I just want to live normally without insults and threats every day.
To the person who so bravely shared this story, and to anyone at all who's listening and feels that familiar, painful knot in their stomach, I need you to hear this loud and clear. What is happening is not your fault. This is not just a difficult relationship. You are not the cause of this.
You know, what you're going through, it's very real, and it actually has a name. It's called psychological and emotional abuse. And it's so much more than just a bad argument or a rough patch. It's a consistent, deliberate pattern of behavior that's designed to break you down, to control you, and to make you feel completely isolated. Just giving it a name can be the first step because it helps you realize this is a recognized, serious issue, not some private failure.
Let's just pull apart some of the things you mentioned, because they are textbook examples. When he constantly reminds you that he's the only one with money, that's not a statement of fact. That's a weapon. It's called economic abuse, and its goal is to make you feel dependent and powerless. The insults about your weight, that's about humiliation. It's a way to chip away at your self-worth. And targeting your children and your deceased parents, that is a form of verbal cruelty that is just calculated to cause the deepest pain imaginable.
Now, I really want to focus on that feeling you mentioned, that you may have done something wrong by throwing his clothes. It is so important to see this clearly. That moment wasn't the start of a problem. It was a reaction to being relentlessly pushed and provoked and tormented. It was a human breaking point. That reaction isn't proof that you're the problem. It's proof of the incredible pressure you have been forced to endure.
So often, this pattern of control escalates, and now we have to talk about the most powerful weapon he's using to keep you afraid, the threat of taking your child. This is such a classic, cruel tactic. It's designed to create a level of fear that is absolutely paralyzing, to make sure you feel like there's no way out.
So let's just face that question head on, the one that's probably echoing in your head at 3 a.m. Can he actually do it? Does having more money just give him the right to take your child away?
Let's look at his threats versus what the legal reality is. So his claim is that his money gives him all the power. But the court's number one, non-negotiable priority is the child's well-being and safety, period. He might try to point to your reaction as a sign of instability, but a court will see his aggression, his threats, his violence, as a massive liability. He claims he provides everything, but a court looks deeper. They ask, who is the primary, stable caregiver? Who is providing the day-to-day care, the comfort, the safety?
And please, let this really sink in. The fact that he screamed, tore clothes, and made these threats in front of your child, that is maybe the single most powerful piece of evidence that works against him in any custody battle. It demonstrates that he's the one creating an unsafe, harmful environment.
Okay, understanding the dynamics here is one thing. But right now, your immediate safety and the safety of your children is the absolute priority. So let's just walk through a few simple, practical steps. This isn't about making a huge decision today. It's just about having options in your back pocket.
First, just think about a safe place. Is there a friend, a family member, whose home you and your children could go to, even for just a little while if things got worse? Second, start to gather your important documents. Things like your IDs, your children's birth certificates, just keep them together somewhere safe and easy to grab. And third, and this is so important, know that calling for help is your right. If you ever feel threatened, calling 112 is not an overreaction. It is a necessary step to protect yourself.
The single most important thing I can tell you today is this. You are not supposed to do this alone. You just aren't. There is an entire network of professional support out there designed for exactly these situations.
This number right here is for the National Hotline for Victims of Violence. It is a direct line to help.
When you call this number, it's completely free and it is totally anonymous. The people on the other end of the line are trained professionals, and their job is to listen without any judgment. They're not going to tell you what to do. They're going to help you think through your options and plan your next steps. And critically, they can connect you with legal help and other support right there in your area.
So as we come to a close, I want to leave you with one final and really crucial thought.
The way you ended your message was so powerful. You said you just want to live normally, without insults and threats. Please, hear this. That is not a wish. That is not a favor someone grants you. That is your fundamental, non-negotiable human right.
The act of writing down your experience, of putting it into words and sending it out, asking for help, that takes a kind of courage and strength that is just incredible. That's often the hardest step, and you have already taken it. You've already shown how strong you are.
And finally, please never, ever forget this. In your fear, in your uncertainty, and in your hope for a better life, you are not alone.